First, we'll start with the Eufy 11 Plus. Go ahead and hit single room here, so we're not bouncing around for 2 hours. Alright, next we have the Neato Botvac connected. We'll go ahead and start Jar Jar here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and try to get this baby to land on its own. Okay, so there you have it. I know you can't really compare these guys, or girls, whatever you want to call your vacuums, but I know there is like a $350 difference, so you can't really judge them, but I will give my 2 cents on each of them. Starting with the Eufy. Now I will tell you, this is the first one I got, and I am pretty impressed with it. I dropped it in here, just let it bounce around for about 2 hours. It got stuck a few times, but it cleaned almost everything in the room, even under my bed, that what probably hasn't been touched since we've moved in. As disgusting as you may think it is, I probably pulled out 5 full containers of dust from the Eufy 11 Plus. Now, as far as our test goes, it did get stuck twice during the process, which made me put up a barrier so I didn't have to watch it as much. But it got stuck under here, which is my fault. I should have blocked that off before I went into that disaster. And then it got stuck over here in between these legs. But partially because it's thicker carpet and it's harder for it to turn, If it would have just kept turning for a little bit longer, it would have made it. But it seems to stop early, probably to save itself from damage, I guess. But also, you'll see that it spent a lot of time in this area. Like it did not want to go over towards the house, the home base. So it'd get close and then it would shoot back and then spend most of its time over here. So I would say the Eufy is great if you're going to be around. You'll be able to attend it. Like I was setting it for like 7 o'clock when I wake up in the morning, and I would just come back down. If it was stuck, I would just fix it and then let it bounce around. But it always made it back to its home base when it was done. Now, I will also say that I was a little concerned that when I felt the airflow coming out of this, there wasn't much at all. Like you can't feel anything. Or there's some, but it's just like a little breeze. So that was kind of concerning. But it still picked up a lot of dust. But it wasn't able to pick up hair off this stuff. But I do think that it picks up more as you just keep driving it over and over and over, and eventually it's going to pick up all your dog hair. Now for those that have the extra 350 bucks sitting around, I suggest the Neato. This thing is amazing. Even though it struggled to get back to its home base, but it did that the first time when I got it because it's just too close. As you can see, it was trying to back into my nightstand. It's for some reason thought that was the home base, but it does a great job. It was very fast. It was probably about 7 minutes to finish this whole area compared to the 20 with the Eufy. But it did take extra 3 minutes to try to land into that base, which it didn't. But I moved it over and then hit the spot mode, and it went back perfectly fine. As far as suction power goes, this thing has quite a bit, especially when it's in turbo mode. I only had it in eco mode. I forgot to put it on turbo, but it's fine because I probably ran these vacs over this carpet about 30 times this week. So there's not a whole lot left of dirt down there. But I had it, it was going around and there were some paper flakes in the middle of the floor. And the air from shooting out of this thing shot those paper to the other side of the room. There was so much air coming out of this vac. Now for the navigation, that's pretty sweet. You can see it was dropping some pretty nice lines. It did have some confusion over here, but it did eventually get out of it, which is nice. I've had one other problem with it getting stuck on a chair that has like a rounded base, and it kept trying to get to the middle. It never got stuck, but it kept trying to get up to the middle of this chair. So all I did was raise the chair higher, and it never got stuck on it again. Another thing I want to mention about the Neato, it's got this sweet like mechanism that it does, where it's getting stuck into an area like this when it's coming up. And let's say there's something right here on this back side. The back end, like the wheels will lift way high to be able to squeeze around into this area. It's very efficient like that. Now I will say with the Neato that I did have some problems with landing it at the base, but I've yet to come home and have it stuck anywhere else except for sitting right in front of the base or connected to the base. But that's probably my fault because you're supposed to have 2 meters on each side and it's supposed to be on a hard surface. It also says that on high carpet the base can become unbalanced and the Neato won't be able to get back onto it. So it recommends putting it on hard surface, which I have yet to put it under. I'll probably find a folder or something hard. And a concern for like the home base, it's kind of iffy with like the remote, as there's no button to hit return to home unless you like start it directly from the base, and it has to see the base a few times before you can actually send it home. So let's say if you stop in the middle of a clean and like try cleaning it and then accidentally cancel the clean and then you press start again, it's not going to know where home base is unless it runs by it a few times. So you do have to like manually put it back, which can be kind of annoying. So there you have it, the Eufy Robovac 11 Plus and the Neato Botvac connected. If you are going to be around, be able to babysit the vacuum while you just sit around and watch TV, the Eufy is going to work great for you. But if you want something that you can like kind of rely on to not get stuck, where you can actually like be away and not have to babysit it, the Neato Botvac is perfect. Even though like it didn't make it back to its base, you'll still come back and it'll still all be perfectly cut lines, just like a mowed lawn. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from my videos and reviews on these two vacs. I hope it'll help you decide on the purchase that's right for you. See ya.